Wait. Hold on. Okay. Okay, let me get my lights together. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Very, very, very interesting. No, he left off. Cause there's no point. He left off. There's literally no point in staying on. I'm not gonna even go live. I'm not gonna go live. So really, look at this crap. You can put me in. You obviously know how to get here. You know, and you came here. You really came here to ask a question. So, you know, it's just, you know, make a decision. I didn't want to tell him to go, you know, but it just didn't make no sense to stay. Nah, nah. Which again, that was like, yeah. So we got everything good. Mm. Hey y'all, welcome to the Devon A. Morris Unfiltered Call-In Show. Have a seat. Let's get ready. You have any questions? Come on, call in. Come on to that Discord channel. Do me a favor, get the unfiltered crew some finger snaps. We're ready to get started here. Mondays, 8 p.m. Every single Monday, we're here. I'm excited about it. Are you? Let's get this show started, y'all. The greatest Scrum show on earth. I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy. Boom. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hopefully you have had an amazing start to your week, right? I would have had applause come in and everything else, but something ain't working right. And that's okay. We're all good. We're here. Ain't nothing but love here. So welcome. This is the it's the Unfiltered Call-In Show. Where we answer your questions about Scrum, Agile, entrepreneurship, things of that nature. Today is a continuation from last week. If you were here last week, you know and understand. We were talking about goals. It was 90 days until 2023. Guess what, y'all? It's 83 days until 2023. So, what are you doing? A lot of y'all said y'all was going to come back with some plans, people. You literally said that. So now the question is, did you work on those plans this week? Did you work on what you plan to get done within the next I'm going to say 15 months. 15 months, right? Counting the rest of 2022, jumping into 2023, right? Have you figured that out? Hopefully you have talked about it. Hopefully you've at least thought about it. Just a little itty bitty amount. If you've done that, then we're cooking with gas at that point, right? So that being said, what's happening? Recently I just did a lot of classes. Yeah, classes. I have something really interesting coming, right? I'm doing an evening set of CSMs. I'm gonna do an evening one probably once a month as an experiment to see how some people work like it. The reason being is because I've had somebody request it, and I had a few requests of it over the years. So I'm gonna do some evening CSMs, maybe some CSPOs from like 6 p.m. Central Time until 10 p.m. Central Time. So experiment. We're gonna see how it works, right? So that should be interesting. What else is going on? This we got next week, this week, end of this week, next week. I got a coaching intensive to do. Been running around, just kind of taking care of everybody as the best I can, and just really, really, just have been easing into this different life. Just different life, right? Kind of being an empty nester, kind of figuring out things, right? And so I've been on that kind of thing more than anything else. So it's been actually very, very relaxing, very, very important for me. Hopefully it's been a good week for you. So let me know how it's going, right? Talk to me, right? Say hi to me, right? That's important to me because I like to talk to you all. I like to see you all. I like to be connected with you all. You know that already. Nothing surprising about that at all. So hopefully you know this. Hey Patrick, how you doing? Hopefully everything's good with you. Everything's super amazing with me. As usual, just trying to get things going, always trying to work on things, always working to accomplish things. I saw you, Travis, earlier. How's it going? And then Evelyn, how you doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to everybody out there, right? Truly happy Monday to everybody because, it's just a good day. I feel like it's a good day. I feel like this is a good thing. I feel like there's nothing but goodness happening around. And even though I want to pull a plug over here because something's not acting right in terms of the tech, we're here and we're live, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just got to figure out how to do everything else. So, on that note, let me see what else is happening. What else is happening? I think that's about it. I told myself I would come back here, and we're going to jump right into our little topic for today, talking about our goals, because I see some people have thrown their goals out there. And if you have, that's a great thing. But I wanna talk to you about at least my goals and at least the thought process I've had in terms of things. and give you some ideas of what's happening, right? Once you have some ideas of what's happening, hopefully that inspires you to make sure that you get your goals rocking and rolling and going and all those great things, right? Um, what we classically do is talk about the topic for 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on the topic. And then we go into questions. I answer questions two ways. I answer questions by you throwing them in the comments, which is probably the most common way that people get their questions answered. The other way that I answer questions is by you coming live on the show. I always supply a link. I'll supply the link early, about, 15 minutes or so into the show. You'll see that we actually start to get questions. And you're welcome to kind of join us on the chat or join us live. I prefer live because that gives me an opportunity to really exchange with you. And realistically, it gives other people an opportunity to learn from maybe some of your experiences, whether it is you have some questions you want to ask or you just got some general comments, success story, whatever you want to share. Love to hear about it. So I think we're in a good, at least in a good position to get ourselves going. So I actually spent some time this week thinking about my goals in a little bit more depth. So and then at least I have an understanding. I'm actually pulling them up right now over here on my iPad. So and then I'm not going to show them to you per se, but what I'm going to do is make sure that I know what they are, right? So really for me, I have sets of goals that fall under different arenas because I have multiple roles that I play in my life, right? I said to you all last week that I plan to have a what I call a signature man event. Okay, where I'm helping men that crave to fix their lives. Okay, that's going to be March 23rd through the 25th of 2023. That's when that event is going to happen. It's a 3-a-day event. It's going to be 3 full days, maybe about 6 to 8 hours. I don't know exactly. And we'll have topics happening. It will more than likely not be just me there. So there'll be some other people that will likely join us. But I know that I have to do some things. Like I got to set a plan. I got to figure out what I'm going to execute over the next 30 to 60 days, because that's when I can get the hyper focus in, make things just happen in a certain way. In that 60 days, I got to line my life to be able to do the marketing and build the list that I need to build. Um, and I got to review these milestones that I plan to achieve. So, with, probably this weekend, I will be jumping to do that. So literally for Devon Morris Limited, which is the brand it'll be under, the brand that's more about me, I'm going to do a signature man event. Okay. Does that make sense? And if you don't know, my goal for that signature man event is really to have a mastermind of a minimum of 10 people. 10 people is my goal, right? So that would be what I would plan to come out of that event with, is that mastermind ready to rock and roll and go and move forward. So that's an amazing thing. Another role that I play in my life is going to be Bearded Eagle, right? A lot of you all would know me from Bearded Eagle, and obviously Bearded Eagle is a company that got to make sure that happens. And I work CSM classes through Bearded Eagle, and really, probably the biggest goal of Bearded Eagle is to come out of the. I'm not going to call it hibernation. Come out of the slowdown mode, because we went into a slowdown mode. COVID and getting the last of the children out the house and going on their path. So we slowed everything down, right? Just slowed everything down. And since, we own a company, I own the company with my ex-wife, we own that company together, we can make a decision to slow things down and put things in a position where we take care of all these personal things in life. Okay. And so we did that slowdown, and actually COVID actually helped us out, because if COVID hadn't happened, we probably would have been just on the grind, every other week. Well, almost 3 weekends out of the month, going to train classes in different cities, and then 2 times in a week training as well. So, I would normally get in 2 to 3 classes a week, mm, almost every week, right? And I try to save a week just in case a private thing would happen. But realistically, it's going to be to get Bearded Eagle back toward a certain revenue. There will be a certain number of people that we want to have in classes. And then there are a couple of new offerings that we want to make sure are made available to people. Um, and those things all come within that Bearded Eagle branch, or my role as being the CEO slash Eagle Eye, because I call myself the Eagle Eye, right? Why do I call myself the Eagle Eye? Man, I just make up stuff, man. Like literally. Like I just said to myself, if Ken Schwaber can create the CSM, I can call myself the Eagle Eye. That's so stupid. But yeah, I do. I call myself the Eagle Eye, right? And so that is, it's because I can't grow a beard. I literally cannot grow. Well, I can grow a scruff, but I will never be a part of the beard gang. Okay, for though, if just in case you want to know, you see my eyebrows, they're real thin, but my eyelashes are long. Anyway, that's too much information. So that being said, Bearded Eagle is going to have a certain amount of things that is going to happen, right? And really, I'm thinking over the next 6 months. I'm not thinking over the entire 2023. I'm thinking over the next 6 months. This is what I plan to do. This plan will get revised. Uh, over the holiday break in December. So toward the end of the year, right around my birthday, which is, around Christmas. My birthday's Christmas Eve. So right around that time, I'm going to make sure that I re-up this and make sure that I have 2023, spelled out, a little bit further, than just thinking about the next 6 months. And then I want to take another aspect, right? Because I got personal goals, right? I got personal goals. Some of my personal goals include health goals, right? So like I want to make sure that I get down to maybe 170, um, and make sure that I maintain muscle in terms of getting down to 170. I'm probably 20 pounds away from that. If I made it to 175, I'd be happy. But I don't want to lose muscle mass. I really want to lose fat, right? So I want to get to the place where I'm maybe 15 to 18% body fat. Um, you know, and if I do that, the weight will go down for sure. So I'm gonna have to do some things to execute that appropriately. Um, I got to get back. I got to get. This year was a bad year for cycling for me. I had a goal of 6,000 miles cycling this year, and man, I haven't done 500. Okay, just fell. I crashed and burned on that one, like completely. I'm not gonna meet that goal. I'm not gonna even try to meet that goal. It's pointless. But here's the deal. What I do want to do though is I want to make sure I get in 300-mile rides next year, like literally 300-mile rides. I want to also make sure that um, that I truly attend like two cycling events. Like literally two cycling events is what I want to achieve next year. And those cycling events should be quite interesting because it's going to put me in a position where now, I'm having some old error over here on my machine, but you all still hear me. I can tell because it's just bouncing back and forth. My cycling events, I don't know which ones I want to attend, but it's likely going to be, probably one in the state of Texas, and then it's going to be one that's going to be elsewhere. Where that elsewhere is going to be, I don't know. Maybe Seagull, maybe One Love, maybe something like that, where there's a whole bunch of folks that actually go cycling. And then there's going to be other things that are going to be things tied to funds and trust and things like that to make sure that everything is executing the way that it should, is what we really want to make sure happens. And it looks like you all may be able to hear me, but it looks like my tech is just having a fit for some strange reason. And why? I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue why the tech is having a fit, but it is for some strange reason, and everything's working out just fine. If you all can hear me just fine, then somebody throw it in the chat for me so that I can make sure I'm good. Because I don't know if you can really truly see me or not. But yeah, the tech is just having a fit for some strange reason. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna have to operate this probably a little bit differently, just on the fly, to make sure that I can see you and you can ultimately see me, and we're good to go. So just give me a moment. I'm still going to talk to you because I think that I can do that. But let me recycle something while we're on the fly here, and let's see what actually happens. If it kicks everybody out, that's my apologies. But I'm over here just working the system, you know, just having all of a sudden technical difficulties that have come out of nowhere. Um, so you all can hear me. That means I'm still connected. That's a good thing. And what I don't see, well, I'm running into a problem, and thank you, Esther, for letting me know. What I don't see is I don't see myself moving on my screens. So as long as you all can still hear me, I'm pretty good. I still can operate. I just don't see everything as I'm supposed to. So that being said, let's continue this little journey here because I want to continue it. Okay. Okay, my video is frozen. That's a good thing to tell me because I can work on that too. So, but we'll continue this conversation. So I'm working on it. I'm working on all this stuff as we speak. So let me get that video back right. Let me get everything going so we can. Yeah, everything's just having a fit all of a sudden. Why? I have no clue. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with you know what? We're just gonna have to go and do this. Y'all gonna have to see my interesting situation here, and it's gonna be a very different light or a very different way of doing things, but that's okay. Um, you probably can see me now, and it's probably just a tad bit different, and that's okay because now I'm using this machine, and hopefully you can see me now. So I just switched cameras. I got backup cameras and everything else. So this case stuff will go down on the show. I'd be good to go. So anyway, I'm back to it. You should be good to go. You should see me now. You should be able to hear me just fine. It's just that, you know, stuff over on the other side just had a fit. So sorry about the camera quality. I'm actually using my laptop camera now, but that's okay. That's okay. It happens. You can see my comic books and everything else in the background. This is a 5.0, but that's the first appearance of Black Panther, y'all. Just so you know. Yeah, it's a green label, but that's a whole nother conversation. Whole nother conversation. So you at least heard about my goals, right? You at least heard about some of my goals. I want to hear about your goals now. I really do want to hear about your goals, right? Because you made a promise with me. You made a promise last week that we were gonna do this together, right? And now I'm curious about your goals. P Bell always remind me if you are enjoying this, please like it. Please subscribe. I think we're at 620 people. We actually have. We said to ourselves at the beginning of the year we are gonna get to 1,000. I don't know if we're gonna make that number, but I'm very happy to be at 600 plus because I didn't think we'd ever get there. So we're doing well. We're doing very well. That being said, let me hear about your goals. I want to hear about those goals that you came up with. Like, what do you plan to do in 2023 over the next 6 months to meet the goals that you're trying to meet? What is those goals, right? If you can think of the next 6 months, right? The next 3 months, right? 2023 as a whole, what goals do you have, right? I'd love to hear that, right? I see Travis already threw some stuff out there, right? Goal number one, how do I go about becoming a Scrum Alliance enterprise coach? I could tell you that, Travis. It's not complicated. Nothing's complicated about it. It is work, though, right? So none of this stuff I'm saying is going to be easy, but it is work. So realistically, to become a CEC, right? Um, you need to be a CTC, and before that, you need to be a CSP. Okay, the CSP is really the main jumping point to jump off to other things, right? And so there is certain qualifications, there's certain things that's associated with each one of those certifications in terms of what you need to do in terms of application and everything else. But the first thing to do, and Travis, I don't know how far you've gone down the Scrum Alliance path, but the way the path works is really simple. CSM or CSPO, and then you go down one of those two tracks, okay? You can become an advanced certified Scrum Master next, or advanced certified Scrum Product Owner. That's what you can become next on that list, right? And then you become a certified Scrum practitioner, okay? Professional, I forget which one it is, top of my head. And you can do that as a CSP Scrum Master or CSP PO. Now you're at the CSP level at that point. That CSP level allows you to hit one of the jumping points. And one of those jumping points is going to be certified Scrum trainer, okay? Which again has a set of requirements associated with it. And then there's certified Scrum, certified team coach, and then certified enterprise coach. Obviously, team coach comes before enterprise coach. And so you can go down that track. Now, you go down both tracks if you want to in terms of once you become a CSP. But whether it's a CSP PO or CSP SM, both of those take you along that journey. So if you want to do that, Travis, I've given you the map. The biggest thing I would say in that journey is to get involved with the Scrum Alliance in some kind of way. Be around people that already have those certifications, get some mentors within the community that are CECs. And if you need some recommendations of people to talk to, look up Sherry Silas. Look up Sherry Silas. She'd be the number one person I recommend you have a conversation with. And if you need to be connected to in any kind of way, send me an email, team@beardedeagle.com. So team@beardedeagle.com, just get in touch with me, Travis, and we can go from there, okay? So that's what you would need to do, okay? Now, let's move on. Let's see. Anybody else throw any goals out there? I don't see anybody throw any goals in the chat. What y'all saying? Y'all don't have any goals? You don't have any goals whatsoever? Come on, people. You got to have some goals. Goals is the spice of life, right? Goals is the main thing I need you all to have, so then you're rocking with me well here. I like it when you all achieve in the dreams that you want to achieve. That makes my life easier, you know? I'll be like, I was a little small part of their success. Just a little bitty part of their success is what I'm thinking, right? And so here's the deal. I'm going to go ahead and drop in the chat what I normally would drop, and that would be the link to the actual show. So you're welcome to come and join us on the show because it's time to answer questions in the chat or answer questions on the show. I still want to talk about your goals though, right? And so I just dropped it on LinkedIn. I just dropped it on YouTube. I'm gonna jump in the LinkedIn right now to make sure I drop it there. You all know how we operate in terms of this. I see at least a question there, so we'll deal with that question in just a moment. But let me go ahead and take care of anybody that's over there on LinkedIn real quick. Let me drop it there too. So now you all have the link to the show just in case you want to join, which is great. So now I need you to still drop those questions in the chat. Not the questions, not just the questions. I don't want to hear just your questions, right? I really want to hear about your goals, right? I really want to hear about your goals. Like I really, really want to hear about your goals, right? I just told you about a whole slew of my goals, right? I told you about how I segment my goals out, right? And my goals will get down to being smarter and smarter and smarter as I break them down into smaller pieces. So you're gonna see me like subdivide my goals. Like I'm gonna slice my goals is what I'm gonna do. And so I'm gonna be doing that this weekend, no question, right? And so I'm gonna be creating some path on how I'm gonna reach my goals like this weekend, literally. There's gonna be no questions asked to that. Because I gotta put on a signature man event and I have to make everything else in my life work around that, if that makes sense. I really, really do. So just come on with it, y'all. Come on with it. What are those goals, right? So questions and goals is what I want to see. Goals more than questions, right? There's too many people that's here for me not to be seeing more goals. Come on now, or just admit it. Be honest and say, I didn't work on it. I didn't work on it. Go ahead and say, I didn't work on it. Say, really? I'm not that important to me. Just go ahead and say it. Say, I'm not that important to me. That's the whole problem if you say that, right? That's the whole problem because you should be really important to you, right? You should be really important to you. If you're not important to you, that's why you ain't got no goal, man. Come on, get with it. Anyway, so let me answer. Let me just go through, see what questions that we have, and let's see, people come up with these goals. How do you land? The question at hand right here is a two-part one. How do you land your first role as a Scrum Master? My statement is be relentless at applying for opportunities. Be relentless at applying for opportunities, right? Keep applying for opportunities, keep applying for opportunities. Apply for opportunities that make sense, right? the bigger thing that I would say to you is get out there and network. Go to Scrum gatherers. Go to any kind of Scrum event you can go to, like an Agile event, right? So meetup groups, right? If you can go to a conference, right? All these things help. Network with people, right? There are people that show up here, right? If you show up here, I don't have no problem connecting y'all together to make sure you stay in touch. But this is a community too, right? So the idea is that start to get to know people, start to let people see that you're out here, and that will help you. My journey to Scrum it wasn't anything special. Um, I learned about Scrum truly at State Farm. When I had a project manager by the name of Tom Miller, we were sitting in the actual waterfall, learn the new process of waterfall that we were going to do company wide, and the company ordained or dictated that this is what was going to happen. And I'm in there talking to Tom, and Tom's like, "We ain't gonna do this," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do it, Tom." And then Tom told me to go take a CSM. He told me to go take a CSM. He said, "Go take it with Ken Schwaber. He's gonna be in Chicago next week." I was on it, and that next week I went there, and then I ended up coming back, and we did Scrum together. Now, did I officially have a Scrum Master title? I did not. My official title was Project Planner, and then after helping to deliver the first Scrum project at State Farm, I moved on. I left because I wasn't going to be able to do what I wanted to do, and I went to I believe Capital One, where I was an Agile project manager because I had my PMP and CSM. I earned them both in 2005. And once I went there, they gave me the choice on whether I want to go to traditional process or utilize Scrum. And obviously I chose the Scrum path, right? And then once I left there, I came over to USA really about 6 months after that. USA down in San Antonio, insurance company, financial services, probably more than just insurance. And I was officially an agile coach by title there. So I was functioning as a scrum master for two teams. And then really after that, I was an agile coach within on a 200-person portfolio. So that's really my journey into Scrum. I had known about extreme programming and really tried to apply extreme programming, but I didn't know what I was doing, and I had somebody that was leading me that had no clue what they was doing, and we was trying to apply it on the wrong thing. When I worked at Experian prior to going to Allstate and these other places I've been to, and I just I don't even I almost don't even count it, right? I don't. My real introduction to Scrum was in 2005 at State Farm. That's literally when I got truly introduced. Um, you know. And so that's when that happened for me. And I just worked in State Farm until I guess about 2007. That's when I left. So I was there about for a couple of years, doing this kind of stuff, right? And I learned a lot. I literally learned a lot. So that's really my journey. But my statement is be dogmatic about what you want. There's nothing that should stop you from getting what you want. Keep going after what you want, but apply for opportunities that work. I will mention something right now for everybody here. If you haven't been to it yet, my friend John Signo, he's a Bearded Eagle alumni. He does a series called Brand and Land. And it's an amazing thing where he helps you to update your brand via LinkedIn, really updating your resume as well, and how to really get get your resume through the applicant tracking systems. And so he does an amazing, like 5 hour, like full of information that I actually took it with him, right? And I updated my resume at one point to apply for a job because I wanted to test it out. And when I put my resume against that job, I was a 30% match as a certified Scrum trainer. I was like 25 to 30%. It was depressing. And then I did the things that he said do, and I got my resume up to about 90 something percent, probably 95%. And to me, that would have been worthy of submitting to that opportunity. So again, John Signo, Brandon Land, he primarily does it out of the Dallas Fort Worth, the Dallas PMI chapter. Okay, the Dallas PMI chapter. So if you go to the Dallas PMI chapter, just look up Dallas PMI chapter and then look for their resources, you will see Brandon Land, right? I think they do two versions of it now, but look for one guy, John Signo, Signo, Signo. I think it'll be very helpful for you. Okay. Let's see. Let's continue. Oh, follow up from last week. I'm looking at types of coaches and also looked at the Scrum Alliance paths to coaching as well. Still deciding. Okay, I understand. You're still deciding, but do me a favor, Petra. Do me a favor. One thing that's really horrible is spikes. You know, most of you all have an idea what a spike is, right? If you don't, here's what it is. It's a time box research event, time box research task. It is basically you're doing research, and the problem with research is you can't really estimate research. So I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, Petra. What's your time box on that? What's your time box on that, Petra? Do me a favor. Drop your time box in the chat, Petra. Drop it in the chat. When are you going to be done with that? Okay? That's what I want to hear from you. That's not good enough for you to just say, I'm looking and all kinds of things. No. What's the time frame? Okay? What's the time frame? Because we can't be working on this. We can't be working on this forever. Make sense? So, Petra, I have expectations. Like, literally, I have real expectations there. So, but it's good that you're thinking about it, right? Let's go ahead. My brother, right here. I set a goal to complete my DA credentials by the end of the year. Love it. Started working towards that last week. Love it. 2023 will have a new goal if I achieve that as an enhancement path on the same path. I like it. That's way more smart than what I've seen earlier. So I like to see dates around it. This is a beautiful thing, but you have some other things that I know you're trying to achieve. You're not just that one credential, Patrick. So let's get those other aspects, those other roles you play in life. What are your goals around that? I don't care if it's kids, family, a business, whatever it is. What are your other goals as well? Because that's not your only goal. If it is, I understand, but I guarantee you got more goals than that. So Patrick, I want you to treat yourself holistically, holistically. And what else are you trying to achieve as well? That's what I'm concerned about with you, Patrick. And you know, brother, I'm really gonna hold you accountable because we see each other, we cross paths, right? So be on lookout for that, man. So that's good. Uh, Goal number two. Okay, decrease. Ooh, BMI from 35% to 15%. Man, I'm on that path, brother. Yeah, I said 15 to 18% for me. You talking about just complete BMI? Oh man, BMI. That's yeah, okay. All right. Hey, good goal. Good goal. Good goal. 20% drop in anything is going to be amazing. So I like it. I like it. I like it. And here's a compliment. The Brandon Land series is awesome. Again, I don't know anybody who went to Brandon Land and did not enjoy it, did not really get something out of it. Everybody I know got something out of it, period. Everybody. Everybody I know. And I always send people there. There's very few things I send people to. This is one that I found to be very helpful for people that are looking for stuff, right? So definitely join that. And Petra says, hey, next week she's gonna get that done. So next Monday when we had a show, you should be able to say what your goal is. You should be able to say what your goal is. I love it. I actually love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Um, so this is good stuff, right? So I like it. I'm glad you all, kind of took the time to deal with you. But guess what, man? I've only heard from like three people. Don't be faking the funk. I heard from three people. And there's been people that's gone in, people that's gone out. Come on. I've only heard from three people. I got to hear more. Don't be faking me here. Come on now. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. Okay? Let's try to make this happen. And yeah, Patrick, I understand. Working on getting my consultancy and biz off the ground, same time, timeline, and dedication. Yeah, you definitely been talking about that consulting agency and the business off the ground. You definitely been talking about that, right? So I like to see that to be a reality. Like literally, Patrick, here's what I want to. I really want to hear. Like I really want to hear you say to me, what you gonna get it. It's easy to get consultancy off the ground. You can just make up anything. But if you already had a first customer, then great. How many more customers you plan to have? But here's the deal. If you haven't had a first customer, My statement to you is your goal should probably be getting that first customer. Because whether you have everything set up and everything else, I get it. But getting that first paying customer is really what you want more than anything else. Because once you have that first paying customer, you wow them, they're your first testimonial, right? So I don't know where you're at in terms of it, but if you've already had a first customer, hey man, pick a higher number, right? If you haven't had that first customer, I'm gonna say get a first customer. Get a first customer, right? That's what whenever people come and talk to me about Bearded Eagle, and we've had this machine, right? That we've just kind of slowed down. We've had this machine. And in that machine and having that machine, there are things that we've done and we've had a lot of great success, and able to slow it down and ratchet it down has been a major plus, right? We wouldn't have been able to slow it down and ratchet it down, trust me, if COVID had not happened. But that was a blessing in disguise. So people that ask me about Bearded Eagle anytime, the first thing I tell them if they ain't got started is get your first customer, period. There's probably no better advice I can give anybody that's trying to consult, okay? Because consulting can make you a whole lot of nothing, is a fact, right? I remember when I was deciding to become a consultant, period. I had a guy who, older guy. I'm good. One of the great things I love is I love people that's older than me, right? Because people that are older than me, they just got this wealth of knowledge that I get to pull from. And I just love getting that knowledge from them. So I absolutely appreciate and love it every single time. Let's see. Hey, Dorcas, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. My goal is to get my PMP in 2023. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I like that. Finish a few of my flash fiction writing pieces. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Submit at least one for publishing. I like that, right? I like that. I really like that because I can measure two or three of those, right? Finish a few of my flash fiction writing pieces. I mean, you can measure that too because I think of that as three. But those, the only thing that I'd be concerned with, and you just say 2023 for them all, great. I like it. I like it. But submitting it to a publishing, at least one of them to a publisher, I like it. Even if you're self-publishing, right? To be able to take it through that process and even self-publish is just amazing. It's just an amazing thing, right? And so it is that PMP is tough though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been a PMP since '05. Matter of fact, here's something right here that I got when I got my PMP. Right here. They gave me this. I don't know. I don't remember if it's a chapter or whatever. They gave me this, but they gave me this. See that? Yeah. And people be thinking I don't know if people think I lie about my certifications, but you can see September 2005. I was a PMP before I was a CSM. And I remember what I had to go through to do it, right? And so my advice to you is don't take it for a joke. Don't take it for a joke. You got any questions about at least what you need to do to deal with that thing? I'll answer them here too. Okay. But it sounds like you got it under wraps. It sounds like you're pretty good. I used to train people on passing the PMP. I used to do that. I used to. I still could do it. I still can do it. I'm a PMP trainer. I'm actually a PMP trainer. Yeah, I am in the books to be a PMP trainer, but I don't do it. Okay. But I could actually teach you to pass the class, pass the test, because I've been through it and I've taught a lot of people how to pass, in a classroom setting. So it's been interesting, right? But yeah, that's a serious thing, right? So I hear you. Yeah, Patrick, I hear you. I'm working on meeting those goals hard. This is good, right? Let's see. It's true. Yeah, yeah. Lots of people found us during COVID, right? We did a whole like real serious set of COVID classes, right? I mean, we did some work in 2020 and 2021, like getting a whole hell of a lot of people certified. Either really cheap or for free. Like we did a whole lot of that in 2020 and 2022. Just our way of giving back. Matter of fact, in January, I'm gonna have another. hardship class. Won't be free, but it'll be something like $250, $300, something like that, for people to get in. But I'm gonna do it in January, right? So just know that's coming too. I just, it's hard for me to not do it, but then people take advantage and then I feel bad, right? So anyway, I go back and forth. We're gonna make it happen. So yeah, so we this is what we do. And I'm a certified scrum trainer. I'm the first black certified scrum trainer, people. So look, I'm here for you, for real. Let's make it happen. I want to see all y'all. If I could find a way to get all y'all to be trainers, I'd do that, right? No joke, right? I don't have no problem giving away knowledge. Um, you know, it just is what it is. But got to pay the bills too, I guess, right? Um, so the big question at hand, right? How did you prepare for the PMP? Now I'm biased. I'm pretty biased, right? So I'm gonna tell you kind of what I did real quick, and that's gonna help you, right? That's gonna help you. So first thing is I studied. Okay, so for me, I needed to read the PMBOK 3 times. Reading it once is torture, but if you read it once in sections, and then you use it as reference to keep referring back to, but you completely reference through it, at least total 3 times. And then what I did, and again, this is the book that I work with. Everybody that I know of that's worked with this book have found it to be valuable. I work with Rita McKay's books. She has always had the best book in terms of PMP prep. Okay, and so I don't know. There could be other books that are better out there, but I grabbed her books and I used her books as a way to translate the PMI stuff into English because I think it's a foreign language that you're reading when you read the PMBOK. So I translated it into English through the Rita McKay's books, right? And then once I realized that I was ready, I was close to being ready, then I created a study group. And then I knew I was ready for the test. Once I realized that I was leading the study group by answering questions for everyone else. Once I was leading the study group by answering questions for everybody else, I was good to go. The only other thing I did during that time was I took a practice exam, like the exact number of questions that's on the test, went to the library so I wouldn't have any interruptions, and I sat for taking that test like it was a time test I was taking. Literally. Went to the library, sectioned myself off, didn't have nobody interrupt me, anything like that, and I took the practice exam. I probably took a practice exam 2 to 3 times a month. And I started studying about 6 months prior to taking the exam. And probably 2 to 3 months prior, I got the study group. And then when I took the test, it was a breeze for me. A lot of y'all are going to have an advantage because like 50% of the test is agile kind of stuff now. Like it's changed, right? And so you should have an advantage if you've been around this agile stuff just a tad bit. So you think about that. So that's how I prepared for the PMP. When I actually trained the PMP, I remember I did a class where I did one of these classes one time, which I think was extremely helpful. Where we did a study group kind of class where we met and I had people section off into groups as smaller study groups and had about 15 to 20 people, something like that in there. And like every Monday, Tuesday, whatever number of days we meet a week, but we go through some information and then I'd have the study group kind of review that information, go to more questions. And I just went deep on stuff for about 12 to 13 weeks. And we're not talking about every night you're in class. We're talking about we spend 2 to 4 hours in class a week. And so we was able to get the prerequisite number of hours we needed to. But that's what I did in order to get myself ready. And then the way I preferred getting people ready is through that kind of almost study groupish kind of way of getting
where we do a little bit every single week. That way people embed the knowledge inside of them versus have to just recall it in the moment, right? Because when you got to do forward passes and backwards passes and all that kind of stuff, it's a whole different deal. Or being able to deal with slack time, or lead time, lag time, and understanding the critical path. Those things are critical for you to understand if you want to make sure you pass that test. So just important stuff. Even though tools could likely do this for you, but it's good for you to understand it, and it'll help you pass the test because there's normally a few questions on it about that kind of stuff. If you're not that good at that kind of stuff, then guess what? Study the other stuff really hard and hope of the test bank of questions you don't get any questions associated with that. Doubt it, but it's happened to people. Didn't happen to me, right? But it's happened to people. All right. So anyway, again, that's how I did mine, right? Um, that's how I did it. When I did it with a group, the last group I did it with. I think we had a good pass rate for everybody that took it. Everybody that took it, that I know passed it. If they did what they were supposed to do, right? So and you can tell the difference between people, right? So that being said, let's see. Hey, Miss Hancock, how you doing? Let's see the Brandon Land stuff. Maybe the link was there. It's roughly 2 minutes per question. Yeah, yeah, it's about 2 minutes per question. So you can't be lollygagging. You can't be sitting up there on one question forever. You can always bookmark questions, so use the power of the bookmark, if you can, right? And also remember that some of those questions, not that you would know which questions are, but some, they always put some test questions in there. So I think 20, 25 of them is test questions. So they're not counted towards your score. So whatever that number is, I don't remember. But the idea is that no, there's test questions always on a test because they're preparing for future tests. So But yeah, I would definitely be grabbing some practice tests and flashcards. Do whatever works for you. I always tell people, work within whatever personality they have or the best way that they learn. For me, audio stuff works really well for me. And other people may be different. I like to listen to things. It just helps me. You know, just is what it is, right? Um, Patrick says there's a few good classes and Udemy resources that make the journey easier. In addition to reading the books, bank of sample questions make a difference. Yeah, that sample questions, man, make a huge difference. And I had a whole bank of questions at one point. I don't know where they are right now. Yeah, I had like literally I created like a test bank of questions. Like literally, I created that. I'd have to find it for real. I haven't seen it in a while. But we did do that. We really did do that. Like that, we did do that, right? But you know, as I will say to you, most people will recognize and realize if you don't know this, a lot of jobs still make the scrum master and the product owner kind of like twins and equivalent to each other as replacements for each other, because they're both associated with process, but they are two strikingly different roles, right? They're really, really different. But again, if I'm you and somebody offers me an agile project management job, I'm good with it. I take it. I'll be good to go. I'll be happy to have it. That means you got to do some project management stuff along with your scrum stuff. It's going to be heavier toward one side or the other. It's going to be heavier traditional or heavier agile. And that really depends on the organization. But if I'm you, I'm jumping right into it. I'm going to make it happen. If I have that opportunity, just take advantage of it if I'm you, right? Yeah, that's how I got through the test, prepared for the test, got people through the test as well. Yeah, but it's not a joke. Make sure you take the time out. Make sure you dedicate your time to it. If you don't do that, you're gonna feel it. You're really gonna feel it. Like you're really gonna feel it. So be really careful. I've had people that I know, good friends, take it and feel it. Had years of project management experience and still felt it. You have to, you have to, you have to speak PMI's language on that test. That's just the flat out truth. Okay, that's just the flat out truth. Okay, so that is what it is. So Esther, I'm glad you enjoyed those tips. Use them, use them. Right. So Miss Hancock, look at this. Just accepted a role as a CSM PM. Woohoo! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. This one's for you. Look at that. Congratulations all day. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm actually super. Everybody, thumbs up that, please. You know, uh, throw a clapping hands out there, or something. So congratulations. I'm really super happy for you. Um, but here's what I'm gonna say to you, and you know I'm gonna say this to you, right? Remember, my name is on your certificate. Remember that? Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me. You understand? You embarrass me. It's gonna be me, you, and Mumbles. It's gonna be me, you, and Mumbles all day. All day. Yes, that's what I want to hear. All day. So, like I said, there's a great example right there, right? Somebody who's dogmatic about what they want to have, and just because of the CSM PM, don't mean you don't take it. You go make it happen. You go make it happen. You go after it, and you do a great job at that. Use that as your stepping stone to the next place you want to go, right? You know, you all maybe you haven't heard me say this, but I'm gonna say it again because I'm just gonna say it. Why wouldn't I say it, right? You should not just be planning for your next move. You should be planning for your next two moves, people. Not just your next move, your next two moves, right? So understand. And I'm gonna show you an example, right? Remember I was talking about my goal? You remember me talking about my goal? Remember me talking about my goal? That I was gonna have a signature man event? Remember that? But what am I really trying to have? Signature man event is one goal. That's the goal before I have the 10 men in the mastermind. Do you not see that? Do you not see that? You understand? I'm not just planning for a flipping whatchamacallit. I'm planning for a mastermind. So realistically, it's two goals. I'm always planning for the next goal and the one after the next goal because I need that next goal to make sure it aligns with where I'm trying to go. And as I get closer and closer to meeting the one goal, and then I'll get another goal ready to just queued up, ready to come. So I'm always a goal ahead. I'm always a goal ahead, maybe two goals ahead, right? Because I'm getting my path right is the point I'm making to you, right? And getting that path right is really, really super important. That's how you should be doing things, right? So, right. So if I'm Miss Hancock, I'm like, okay, she got the job. But what's the next move after that? So now she got the job. So now what's the next move? And what's the move after that move? You hear what I just said? So congratulations. We celebrate you. But what's the next move? And then the move after that? I expect you to have an answer because you worth it, right? You worth it. You worth it, Miss Hancock. What's that next move? And the move after that? That's my point. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I could be crazy. I'm not crazy, right? But congratulations, wholeheartedly, right? Again, we've had like lots of people come through various classes, especially during COVID. That's how a lot of people met us recently. And they're just making things happen. So look, get your stuff done. Get yourself out there. Don't, when I think about me, I think about it really simply this way. There got to be somebody dumb enough to be willing to hire me sooner or later. Ain't that stupid? That's so stupid. Not that I'm horrible at anything, right? I'm pretty good at everything I do, right? What is LLSB? Lean Six Sigma Black Belt is what I think she's trying to say. Um, yeah, so Lean Six Sigma Black Belt should be two B's if we're talking about the same thing, right? That's what that should be. I am a certified Six Sigma Black Belt. I'm a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt as well. So I'm two of those things, right? So Six Sigma stuff, yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Just a beautiful thing, right? Um, yeah, so green. She's green. I'm a black belt. That's what I am, a black belt. In jiu-jitsu, I'm a blue belt, though. I need to go back to jiu-jitsu. I haven't been back there since COVID started because I just don't feel like I should be I should be laying on top of somebody breathing their air right now. At least that's what I wasn't doing during COVID, at least. All right, so now let's talk about it. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? So I think I'm good. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Any final things? Because we're running out of time here. Any questions? Wow, if you're a white belt in terms of jujitsu, Dorcas, we can white belt for Six Sigma. I thought you were talking about jujitsu. You said we can get on the mats. Anyway, my people, my people, my people. Any other thoughts? Any final questions? Any final questions? Before we close out for the day and you're just gonna have a wonderful and great week. I thought I was gonna have people show up on the show and have conversations with me. I'm so depressed. I'm really sad that y'all didn't show up to have conversations with me. Like I feel like growling, but I'm not gonna growl. Okay. Um, you know, you never have to be too chicken to join me on the show. I'm not. I don't bite nobody. I think most people are a little bit too chicken, right? Yes, I'm having a class on 10/18, but it's evening classes, Miss Hancock. It's evening classes. So from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So first public evening classes I've ever done. So I don't know, maybe it might be two people in there, but we're gonna have an evening set of classes. Seriously, the main reason why we're doing that is because people keep asking. People keep asking about stuff, right? You keep asking, "Hey, can you have it on a weekend?" Da, 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 da. And people have always asked about evenings, and I just been like, I don't know if I want to do an evening. I'm saying, Hancock, you want to do an audit, then you want to come back for a refresher. We always do a one-time refresher for anybody that's ever taken a Bearded Eagle class. We do a one-time refresher for you. Come back. I mean, literally, when COVID happened, I had people coming back to the class for a refresher from like 2014, 2013. Like my first five classes. They came back from the first five classes that I did. They came back literally to get a refresher. It don't cost you nothing. But the idea is that you're welcome to do that. You just got to send an email to team@beardedeagle.com. So team@beardedeagle.com. Send an email there and just let me know the date. You got to let me know the date, right? You know, I'll double check the emails tomorrow. So just send them across to me. And you got that hankering for wanting to listen to me for a few more days. Come join me. I know you get bored being in class with me. I know you get tired of hearing my voice, but it's only because I really do love you. At minimum, if I don't love you, I like you. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nah, but I care about all y'all. I really do. I really, really do. I enjoy. Actually, this is I may gruff about a lot of things, but this is an exciting part of my week. I look forward to this. I really do. I actually do. It's ridiculous. It's like ridiculous, but I do. I really do look forward to this. Um, yeah, and I really do enjoy it. I enjoy spending time with y'all. So we have a community here. We have a tribe. I like tribes. I like the tribe called Quest too. I really do like Tribe Called Quest. Just so you know, I'm not a hip hop head like crazy, but obviously old school rap is my thing. Not old school rap like hibbity hibbity hop dog. Yeah, that's cool. Uh, jump on it now. Yeah, a little bit after that. So anyway, the point is that I'm making is that I have enjoyed you all today. This has been a complete pleasure. Um, you know, we're gonna do this again. I don't think I need to check on you all next week for goals, so we'll have a topic next week. I don't know what that topic's gonna be because I said to myself we may have to do it again about goals. But I need you all to stay motivated. I need you all to do what you can best do for yourself and for your family. I remember having a coaching session with. Oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna need some volunteers for coaching. So what I'm gonna do as I move toward this board certified coach certification, I'm gonna be offering some free 30-minute sessions. One time though. So you got some stuff you want to talk about? I may be able to do that for you. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know. sometimes I just don't have nothing better to do. I just don't. Uh, but I'm gonna say one more time: don't be chicken and coming on the show. You come on the show, I know you better, and I'll take care of you. I always take care of my peeps, right? So on that note, I'm gonna say it has been a pleasure. I have absolutely enjoyed everything about the show. Please like and subscribe. Please forward the link to other people that you feel like can get some value out of this. I would still love to make it to 1,000 by the end of the year. I'd love to do that. If we don't, look, we just do what we do here. We just do what we do. Maybe we'll even get to the point where we have more shows like this a week. I'm not sure if y'all want to see me more than once a week, but that's okay. We're gonna figure it out. On that note, I'm gonna say thank you all. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you spending time here. We got so much work to do here. We got so much stuff to do for all of us. So just make sure you go out there and have an amazing week. If you have problems that come up, hey man, we're gonna be back here next week, same time, doing the same thing. Sorry about the technical difficulties I had today, but we switched it up a little bit and we're just gonna just make it happen, right? I really do love you all. I really do care about you. Make sure that you just make it an amazing week. If it gets bad, reach out. Other than that, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll see you next week, 8. Peace.